Yeah. Come on. Welcome.
Good afternoon. Sean Higgs coming at you here, midday money, Saturday, the 7th of February. We'll a lot of college hoops on tap for today. We'll jump right into that. Hit the like button here on the YouTube channel. Like, share, subscribe, notification bell on. Sean Higgs YouTube. Come be part of the family. At Mr. Sean Higgs on the X. A lot of basketball. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 4, 5, 6, 7. About 30 games I'm posting up here today. I'm putting out all of the uglies, the close ones, the close uglies. You do as you will. I'm going to give you the records. They're tweeted out. They're tweeted out for you to see. iHeartRadio, after the fact, I want to come in and listen afterwards. Tomorrow night, Super Bowl Sunday, I'm going to do something live pregame before the game, try to get some people on. Wine Time said he'll come in. I'll see if I get some other guys to pop in here. Talk some Super Bowl, whether it be props or sides or totals, whatever you want to talk about. And, of course, look-ahead lines for Super Bowl 61 and recapping the Super Bowl and stuff like that. We'll do that after the Super Bowl Sunday night. And then there we go. It's Monday. It's college hoops. We'll get into a little NBA and hockey, but really be college basketball. The look-ahead lines. College Hoop Show will return at night. We'll handle that stuff with conference tournaments less than a month away. So there is that. We're going to jump right into everything here. Comments are going to have to – they'll be they might have to pile up a bit here. They're going to have to pile up. They're going to pile up in the comment section, but it's all right. We're starting here. Here we go. We're going to start out here with the uglies. Now, I mention these all the time when about the basketball season we're having, and I told you it started out slow. November 1st to December the 10th, 96-100 I went, down a couple units there. Since then, the calendar turns. It's the next day. We wake up on December 11th, and we start rolling on to today. And we have gone 148 and 116, which is a pretty good 56%. Rolling along here. Even go back to December 3rd on the sites. I'm rolling out to number 3 in college hoops. Again, 21-14 last 7 days, 60%. The 13th of January, 57%. January 1st, 55%. December 11th again, 56% with the 140 games. So we've turned the page a little bit to start slow. And I mentioned the uglies and the close calls and games in the system. Last year, the uglies 33-54. They are 34-31 right now, down $10. And here they are. I'm going to give them all to you, and we'll jump right into them here. And these are going to be, I call them the uglies because these are the worst, the bottom tier conferences, you know. So here we are. St. Francis, PA, plus 7.5. New Hampshire, plus 9.5. Gardner-Webb. The Weeb, plus 17.5. Have been terrible for us here. North Florida is 14-5. They're plus 14.5. South Carolina State, plus 14.5. Binghamton, plus 10. Northern Alabama. North Alabama, plus 12.5. Stetson, plus 8.5. Prairie View, plus 11.5. Lamar, plus the 8. And Alcorn, plus 7.5. I'll give you time. You want to write them down? They're, again, they are on the X. If you are on the X, you can see them right there. There's a big post. They're here on the screen. They're also in the comment section here on YouTube. If you want to write them down, you want to keep track of them yourself, you could do as you will. I'm going to come in with the updated records for everybody, and I kind of keep the uglies towards themselves, because a lot of times they'll have like a SWAC Monday and Southland Monday. And overall, the system again. We're going back to January 8th with these. 93 and 54, which is pretty damn good. But I just want to separate certain conferences from that. Your close call games. Now, these are games that I wish we had a couple more points on. And I'm going to scroll. You'll have a huge scroll coming underneath with 40 games. The close calls are exactly what they are. I'd like a couple more points on some of these, but lo and behold, even not getting the points we want here, they are 50 and 36. That's plus 1040. They've been pretty darn good. Today's schedule, we got a whole crap load. This is only part one of them. Drexel plus 3.5, Detroit plus 4, Northern Illinois plus 6.5, Florida International plus 4.5, Eastern Illinois plus 4.5, Northeastern plus 4.5, Western Carolina plus 3.5, Mount St. Mary's plus 4.5, Eastern Washington plus 5.5, and San Diego Toreros plus 5.5. This isn't UC San Diego. These aren't the Titans. These are the Toreros. All right, two different teams. Part two of this is the uglies of the closies. And again, I separated them, and I don't have a close call on the uglies. The uglies are included in this 50 and 36 record. And a few of these lines, they were close calls last night. Some of the lines have moved. I'll talk about those in a second here because I want more points than less points here, right? So Loyola Maryland plus 4.5, Wagner plus 6, Chicago State plus 5.5, American. That is now 6.5. See, this was a 5 yesterday. And so it's gone up here. So, if you look at the ones that we normally use, we've been in the past like yesterday. Well, let me finish these up here. NC Central 4.5, Alabama State 6.5, Central Arkansas 3.5. Again, Alabama State yesterday was 5.5. The American line was a 5.5, 6. Most times when we roll out the free plays here, you've seen them. Western Michigan 9.5, plus 6.5, plus 12, 9s, bigger kind of numbers. 6.5 is usually like the lowest I want to go with my road dogs. Again, these are all road dogs in conference play. The numbers speak for themselves there. The uglies 34 and 31, down $10. But the close calls 50 and 36, rolling along. And games like you see American at 6.5 and Alabama State at 6.5, those kind of games that are close calls that they would be borderline. Northern Illinois 6.5. These things would find their way into being played into a 93 and 54 system. So again, last year, college basketball, 383 and 300. Number one across the board here. I got some work to do to get to 383 wins. I need 140 more in 2 months. It's not impossible if I, usually about 5 or 6 games a night. We could go 4-2 every day. We could chomp a bit here. 383 is a monster season of wins. Again, we are in the plus for the year after a slow start. And that's all we can do. Keep grinding along. And today, for myself, I go 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 more in addition to these games. Michael B's in the house. Miami first quarter got there for a nice one. Nice winner for you there. I rode Groovy's Ryan Rollins first basket. Not a winner. Stop Geo's in the house. 155 games. So yeah. And I could roll out on 40 of them here. St. John's got it done. I had my A10 game of the month. Davidson won by 20. So I thought they'd take care of business. And they did. Nick is in the house. Good to see Mr. Hunt. Mikey A's in the house. Good to be back on YouTube. I've not left YouTube in 5 years. Oklahoma State in college basketball today. All right, let's we'll go into the big schools. You see I got a bunch of lower kind of level guys rolling along here, but let's find some Big 12 hoops here for Mike A. Big 12. Oklahoma State. Who are they playing? At Arizona. Oh, boy. Do you think Arizona's going to lay a little egg here? Kansas, right? You're thinking it's a flat spot for Arizona? How's Oklahoma State played? BYU. You know what? They're off an upset themselves. Interesting. Big number. $20 points. I understand the look with Kansas on deck. They're off a big win themselves. I don't hate it. It's again, Mike, you see who I was rolling to in college basketball where I look to get my value here. Who's this other one here? Oregon State. What time's this game? Oregon State. Yeah. All right, I gotta go through 155 games to find this stuff here. Is that all there is? 155, according to Mikey B. I don't even know who they're playing. Oh, Backstage is in the house. Here we go. Let's see what we got here. Hold on a second. Backstage is coming in. Let's write these down. Backstage. Patriots. Plus 5.5. Shop around. Yeah, definitely shop around because that 5.5 is long gone. I mean, that was early in the week. That means just buy points. Pats on the money line. May MVP. Diggs. Anytime tutty. Hollins. Over receptions. Over yards. From Backstage. Again, tomorrow, I don't know if it'll be a midday money. Maybe it'll be a mid-afternoon money. Super Bowl edition. Again, I want to get some people on. If the ugly game wins, they turn into a prince. Exactly. That's it. Kiss the frogs for princes. I can't go. Listen, the uglies, again, 34 and 31 are not great. It's down a couple bucks, but I put everything out here because this is how I do my college hoops, and it's not like it's randomly throwing like just taking a dog or whatnot doing things. There's a method to the madness. All right, backstage, why he likes the Patriots. Played better defense versus the Broncos, Texans, and Chargers. Okay, so I'll counter your better defenses. So they played a better defense versus the Broncos, and they needed a touchdown on a fumble on the 12-yard line to even score versus a third-string quarterback. You barely won that game. Against the Texans, you needed their quarterback to throw 4 interceptions because your quarterback was sacked and fumbled every other drive in that game. Took him to the second half to score a touchdown. Not good. You beat the Chargers. You think have a better defense than Seattle, who had no offensive line. Again, you had to score to get to the second half to score a touchdown. Okay. I mean, I see a flawed Charger team. I see a Texans team that was down 21-16, and they threw 4 interceptions. They were going in to take the lead. The Broncos defense. Let's. I mean, can we even? I know it's not like to be talked about because we got to kick in teams who they played, but let's go through the Patriots schedule here. You lost to the Raiders, who fired their head coach. You beat Miami 33-27. They fired their head coach. You lost to Pittsburgh, who fired their head coach. You beat Carolina, who backed into a playoff spot off a loss. You beat Buffalo, who fired their head coach. You beat the Saints, who had a first-year head coach and was it Rattler? Even was Spencer Rattler playing in that game, or was Show already in the mix in that matchup? Well, yeah, it was Rattler. You beat Rattler there. That's really good. That guy hasn't won an NFL game in his career. You beat the Titans, who fired their head coach. You beat the Cleveland Browns, who fired their head coach. You beat the Atlanta Falcons, who fired their head coach. You beat Tampa Bay. Good win there. I had Tampa Bay coming out of a bye week. I thought they'd be all right. Banged up. I'll give you the win there. You beat the Jets. We've traded away all their players, by the way. You beat Cincinnati. I guess that's a nice win. You beat the Giants, who fired their head coach. There's your loss to the Bills. The Bills spotted you 21 points at home, and you lost to a team that fired their head coach. You beat the Ravens, who fired their head coach, but also lost their quarterback. And when their starting quarterback MVP goes down, you rally to win that game. There's the Jets win. It doesn't make a difference. You beat Miami, who fired their head coach. Yeah, impressive. Says not me. Better coach and coordinator. All right, we'll see. Tougher to play versus the Broncos defense. Pats will dominate. All right. Yeah, Denver. Let's talk about this Denver team, everybody. They're so good. 10-7 that game. Let's roll out some Denver scores here. 20-12 the first week versus a rookie quarterback and the head coach who got fired. 20-12. You needed a late touchdown there to cover that game. 20-12. 13-11. You needed a field goal at the buzzer in England to beat the Jets. 13-11. 18-15 to beat Houston with a backup quarterback. You were down. You needed a field goal as time expired to win that one. Vegas, 10-7. That's a great game there. 10-7, you beat Las Vegas. That's Las Vegas. Okie dokie. I mean, this is a team you think is a good team, Denver. Not me. ULM plus 4.5 here. Justin's coming in with a little Monroe. We had Monroe the other day. You're welcome for that one. Outright winner. We had both Monroe and Lafayette to both get them done there. Who's Monroe got today? Where are they here? Where's UL Monroe? There's Lafayette. There we go. Home dog to Ball State. See, I like my Monroes on the road as doggies. I'm not a home dog kind of guy. Although I don't want to say don't take home dogs. Where is this game? On my printed out sheet. See, I have my sheet in rotation order. 3 o'clock game. Let's see if I can find it on the big board here. 4 o'clock game. Let's go to time instead of. There's ULL. There's Monroe. 3.5 points. I can do Monroe. You want to take Monroe at home? Let's go, Justin. And you want your ugly small schools, Justin. If you looked at what I got rolling around in the chat here in the comment section, we got a lot of little guys, for you to enjoy. UFC from Michael B. Gaffaro decision 245. Oliveira moneyline 135. Knockout 370. Brazil plus 145 with Michael B's UFC. No UFC from me. Arkansas State from our guy Gary. Again, I have no idea who they're playing, if they're a dog, if they're a favorite. If this is in tennis, we just get a name. Not helping the cause here, Gary. Wise guy says, "What's up, Unk?" But he's got an entourage thing, so that's pretty good. How do we feel about a 12-leg Super Bowl parlay? Yeah, that's really great if you want to go. Best way to go 11-1 is put a 12-leg parlay in. JK's in the house. NBA leaning towards the Rockets first quarter. Double revenge spot off 2 losses, no SGA. Some mess of rotation early for the Thunder. Rockets top 5 road team. Yeah, you know what? You want to listen. Thunder will be good. They got some issues right now. Again, they don't have to be dominant like they always are. They're going to be the 1 seed. I can do Rockets here. Kind of like Duke in college basketball, way better than Carolina. I agree. I like New Mexico off a rare loss at the pit versus a underwhelming Boise team. Yeah, the Mountain West, it's teams play at home. They usually dominate at home and lose on the road in these matchups. Boise the other day pulled one out against Nevada at home. Didn't cover the 5. I mean, and what a stinker versus Utah State. You lost by 20. Yeah, definitely a bounce back spot for New Mexico. JK still likes Seattle. Well, JK, I don't know if you're here when I was just running down this Patriot team. Broncos D seem to get tired late in the season. We're in a good team. I don't think they were a good team. Seattle's defense, top 4, top 3 wide receiver, running back, top 10 quarterback. Seattle big. Pat's still young, says JK. JK loving Seattle. JK loves Seattle. Again, tomorrow's show, maybe around like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock Eastern maybe. Again, I'm going to try to get some other people in here. I'll send that. I'm going to make a room tonight for the Super Bowl show and a Super Bowl 61 look ahead. So, again, I'm going to try to get some guests, and I'll also open up to the chat and on the X World. I will tweet out the link if you want to come in and talk. Sacramento State plus 4.5. Let's see, Sacramento State. I could be able to find that one relatively easy, I think. It should be a later game. Home dog tonight, Sacramento State versus Portland State. So, Justin, you followed me all last year. What was that? On Tony's picks there. And I do like my little dogs like this. This matchup here, a home dog, 4th straight home game for Sacramento State. Good spot for them. First roadie for Portland. Portland beat them 96-69 a month ago. Again, 4.5 at home, huh? Let's pull up some Big Sky standings real fast. Because, again, I don't have anything on this one here. Portland State, number 1 in the conference, 9-1, 5-5 for Sacramento State. They've beaten Weber, Montana, and Montana State, their last 3 at home. Montana State are 2-3, both 8-3, 7-4. Not bad win. You know what? You want to take a 4.5 here at home with Sacramento State? I'm not going to say no to it. Sounds good to me. Go for it. Take the Hornets at home here. JK, great run of college hoops. Yeah, I'm having a nice little run. We're past the run now. December, January, mid-February, so we're at basically over 2 full months. It was mid-December. Even we'll go back to the start of December. We could tweak the numbers where it's not terrible at 55% to December 3rd, which is, I'm not complaining about 54.6%. But again, December 11th pumps it up to a full 56. And 96-100 to start. 148 and 116 since then. Again, 30 games over 500. Not a bad run. And just got to keep it going. We'll see how we do today. I got a bunch of games. And that's, JK, you see who I got, right? I put them out there on the YouTube for the YouTube premium folks here. I added a bunch of picks here on the show today because they've been winning. I've been keeping track of them, and they've really kind of put money in the pocket since we're talking about the first week of January. Great college basketball today. Great college basketball games today, says Michael B. Most of you watching at the time when I would bet 10 to 12 games on Saturday, it's too hard to gather information and feel confident. I get it. And that's why, when I have my good, my bad, the uglies, the close calls, I'll jump right into those and not worry about tomorrow. Listen, I like St. John's last night. I didn't play him. I was, my numbers at Davidson all the way. And that was that. We unloaded. We had a good one. Today, again, there's 40 games. I'm going to put 40 games. Just in West Georgia. Out of all these, out of all the added stuff here, we're going to go West Georgia, at a 1.5. I got plenty of ugly ones for you, Justin. I mean, Francis, New Hampshire, Webb, North Florida, South Carolina State, Binghamton, North Alabama, Stetson, Prairie View, Lamar, Alcorn. We got uglies. We got close call uglies. Loyola, Wagner, Chi State, American, NC Central, Alabama State, Central Arkansas. Again, they're not your West Georgia home dog +1 or pick 'em. These are road dogs. I like the road dogs in conference play. That's where I lead. There we go. We got a close call one today, right? We had a right off the bat closies. There's Drexel 3.5, and they're currently up 27-21. So, all right, we'll wrap it up here. Tomorrow, Super Bowl Sunday, again, it'll be a little later in the afternoon. I'm going to try to get some people to come in and say, what's up to everybody? And if you want to come on as a commenter, if you're on the X watching, you're on YouTube watching, you want to come in, I'll put the link out there for you. But that's a wrap. I'm out of here. Happy Saturday. Good luck. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.